Hi, I'm Angie Veman, and welcome to Totally Clutch. This is the podcast for women like you to find ways to simplify your business and personal life. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. All right, welcome back to another episode of Totally Clutch. This is the Clutch Businesses podcast and vlog. And today I'm super excited about the topic that we're going to talk through and super excited about the guests that we have. So today is all about talking about investing and investing for profit. So people in control of their time, people in control of their money, people in control of their knowledge are people that are in control of their life. It has to be that holistic place or in that holistic place in order for you to reach your fullest potential and to really feel fulfilled in life. And so that ultimately is the freedom that Keisha Bailey believes in creating for every single one of her clients, for every single one of the companies and the communities that she serves in the work that she does. And ultimately, she is an industry powerhouse. And she runs the company Profit Jumpstarter. And she has an insane amount of experience in financial strategy, in investing, in being an educator and an entrepreneur. And so basically, she spent 17 years making money for wealthy individuals and corporations, and has recently shifted her expertise towards really serving the up and coming generation of wealth builders. So with that, I want to welcome her to the show. Welcome, Keisha.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us, just to get us going, about your background and about the work that you do in a little more detail?
Sure. So I have been in finance for about 18 years now. Even though I look very young, I have been in the industry for a while. I've seen the ups, downs, sideways of these markets and economies. And through that time, I've generally just been making money. That's what I do. I'm very good at growing money. I've been a portfolio manager for a very long time, working for large banks. And my role was basically serving the ultra high net worth clients or the large institutions and growing their portfolios. I've done that for a very long time. I am extremely good at it. However, I've left the corporate world to run my company, Profit Jumpstarter. And with Profit Jumpstarter, what I focus on is helping entrepreneurs and service-based business owners who are earning around $100K per year. I help them to maximize their wealth creation. So I work with them and teach them strategies that are easy to implement. I provide the support and the accountability so that they can accelerate their wealth creation, because, making money isn't their problem. They make it and they're very good at that. But how do I make that money work for me? How do I keep that money growing after I've made it? That's where I come in to provide my expertise.
Yeah. And I will say from experience that you make it incredibly easy. You make it work. I mean, it is so effective, the things that you are teaching people to do. It's awesome. I mean, that's something I think, initially when you and I met, I had said that the stock market world is not something that I ever was. I mean, maybe I was interested in it, but I just never thought it was going to be a part of my life. Like I never envisioned that for myself. And now I've got my little, my tracker up on all the time on my computer, and I'm checking every day where things are at. And I actually know what to do when I see things happen. It's awesome.
That's the best part. So a lot of my clients come to me with money that they have invested before that's just not really performing. It's not really growing well. And, it causes a lot of stress and overwhelm because I've worked so hard for this money and it's there and, it's not returning the favor. It's not working hard back for me. And so I come in and essentially just teach you these pivots that you can make and the strategies that you can use, the same ones that you're using to accelerate that growth of the money.
Yeah. And with that information, it is kind of shocking how little money you make in kind of with the standard companies, the standard ways of investing. So it was shocking to me. I mean, I thought I was doing some things right and responsibly. And in fact, I was kind of making bad decisions. So what do most people get wrong about investing?
I would say, well, for a lot of entrepreneurs, because you're busy running your business, what tends to happen is that you make the money and then you kind of just put it away. So it's a set it and forget it. Whatever investments you chose, you're kind of just happy to be doing something. So you just leave the money there and you aren't really monitoring the investments. That's probably the biggest mistake. So when you come to me and we kind of unpack exactly what's going on, how have these investments been performing, that's really when we have that, aha moment. And we say, all right, well, low growth, let's fix that. And so we're able to pivot into better performing investments.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that I felt when we got to that place, when we were looking at what I had been doing, because it did feel very set and forget on my end, but it also, so when we kind of uncovered all of that stuff or I started to understand more of it, what it felt like is, and there's no shame in that game. We're all learning, but it felt like I had been paying an employee in my company to like basically do nothing for, the entire time. Right. So if you think, I only make that, draw that, connection, I guess, because I think in our business, we would never consider wasting money like that. If it's not producing for us, we're going to make some quick decisions. We're going to make some quick adjustments and get it on track. But for some reason with investing or with our personal money, there isn't that same drive or that same, I don't know. There's just, I was willing to kind of let it slide.
Well, I think it comes from the fact that we need to first understand the role of money and that money is a tool. Money is the hardest worker you can get. And as business owners, we like getting efficient employees, and money can be your top employee because money doesn't take any vacation, any sick leave, goes on any holiday or anything like that. It constantly
does get a little temperamental every once in a while.
It does. Yeah, a little. But it really works well when you put it into the right vehicle. That money will turn over so drastically and so quickly. It just takes for us to understand how to put that money to work so that we can look at it and then just smile because it's working hard for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you wish that people knew about investing? Like the number one thing?
The number one thing would be how easy it is.
Yeah.
The strategies, honestly, you could find them anywhere in the world. You literally can Google the strategies. That's the easy part. But surprisingly, that's the part most people struggle with because they think, I need an MBA in finance like Keisha, or I need to be certified like Keisha is to be able to understand money. But the easy part is the strategy. The hard part is how do I take that strategy and apply it to my personal financial situation, which is where I come in. That's really the hard part. But a lot of people don't really understand that, hey, I need to make that connection. They're still stuck at, I don't know what these strategies are. I don't know what to do because there's so much information out there. And, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah. And a lot of the information, this is the case, I think, in any industry or any area of knowledge or learning is that there are, I think with investing, it's hard because there are a lot of get rich or maybe you're coming to it with that mindset because you want that, right? But there's a lot of get rich quick things that aren't, that don't necessarily work. And it's hard when you don't have a background like yours, it's hard to decipher those from the things that actually do work and that you actually should be doing, I guess.
And even flip it, there are a lot of things that are pushed as great investments for the long term that really are not great investments for the long term for you. They're great investments for the long term for someone else, but are they the greatest investments for you? Maybe not. So get rich quick schemes are a whole entirely different ballgame. I'm sure we can avoid those, but the seemingly plain Jane, this is a really solid investment, just go with it, may not be solid for you. So there's always that important linkage that we need to make, that yes, the strategy is there, but I need to implement a custom version of that strategy for myself.
Yeah. How do you do that? So when you're working with a client, how are you helping them start to implement those things?
Yeah. So we definitely first have to understand, what do you want the money to do? Mm-hmm. We know you can make it. No problem. You're good at making it and bringing it in. But once it comes in, what do you ultimately want that money to do? Are you looking to, retire early? Are you looking to do a lot of vacationing? Are you looking to take care of your family? What exactly are you looking to do with that money? We have to understand that, and then we quantify it. How much will it cost you for these vacations? How much will it cost you in retirement? If you don't need to work, how much income do you need to replace? So we go into those numbers in detail. And then from that, we kind of just reverse engineer, what do you need to do to get there? What strategies do you need to do to get to that number that you want? Because that's the easy part, the reverse engineering. The hard part is the thinking around, what do I really want to do? Because especially for us as entrepreneurs, we may say, spend so much time growing my business. I've really put a lot into growing this business, like 24/7. I've missed weekends, I've missed birthdays. I just want to be able at some point to kind of check out and just enjoy the spoils of my labor. Mm-hmm. But what are those spoils? Does it mean that you kind of just want to lay back on a beach somewhere? Does it mean that you want to be traveling? That's the part that a lot of people struggle with, because they know they want to step back, but they don't know what they want to do because they haven't spent the time to really think about it, because they're busy growing the business right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. And I think, so there's something that I realized when you were sharing that, is that so when I think about investing, I automatically think about the stock market and buying stocks and, my 401k and all of that kind of stuff. But you really, you're pulling from a lot of different tools to create a really holistic financial picture for people, right?
Yeah, it goes super comprehensive, because there are pillars of wealth creation, right? One of them is your business, because the business is giving you the income that we're going to put into other assets. So that may be real estate, cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds. There are many different types of assets that we can buy. So we need the business to give you the income, which you're good at already, because you're generating the income. We just need to buy the right types of assets. Mm-hmm. One class of that would be the stocks, but there are others as well. So we look at everything together. We look at real estate. Maybe you're doing an Airbnb strategy. We bring everything together, because it's all of these different assets that are going to take you to that goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I love the way that you approach this, where you're looking at, okay, what is the life that you want? And then attaching a dollar amount to that and working towards that. I've had this conversation now a handful of times just in the last couple of weeks. So that's how I've started. That is not how I always did, but that is how I have started to approach my business, my personal life, all of those types of things. But it's shocking the number of, I shouldn't say it's shocking, because I used to do that also, where it was just about, I would just pick an arbitrary number. Like, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to make this much money a year. And it's like, well, is that really how much you need to be making? Or do you need to be making a lot more? So it's so interesting.
Sure. Yeah, so I start with $1 million generally, because I think it's a nice beginning place. Yeah. You can live comfortably with $1 million to start. And it also helps people to adjust their mindset, because when you think about being a millionaire, for a lot of us as entrepreneurs, that's the dream. Like, I just want to get to that milli status. So it's a nice spot for me to refer to, because so many people can recognize that and they can connect with that number. Once we get to $1 million, I'm going to push you past there and say, hey, let's try for 1.5. Let's try for 2, and, slowly take you along that journey.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think a lot of people, I mean, $1 million seems out of reach for a lot of people. But if you're focused on it, it's totally doable. And I think if you get to that point, you're like, yeah, let's keep going.
It is not, it's super easy to get there. People may be listening or watching and they may be saying, what? Keisha, you know what we're talking about. I've done this too many times to not know how easy it can be, because we're looking at a pool of assets and it's just the growth rate of those assets. So numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know, I always say this, 1 + 1 will always be 2. We just need to come up with that formula for you to take to that 1 million. That's not hard to do. And then if we automate the process and take you out and create that discipline, you definitely will get there, because we're going to automate the process to get you to 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Is there something, okay, so we'll just say it's easy to get to $1 million. Is there something, is there like a common thing that your clients that have successfully, that you've successfully worked with, that have successfully worked with you, are there common traits or common approaches to that they have to get to that point?
Yeah, the main one would be consistency in contributing to your portfolio. You're nodding because, I stress that all the time. Like, everything starts from that monthly contribution. So we're working in our business, getting money, getting that revenue. We need to pay ourselves, pay our future wealthy self, and make sure that we continue to build on our investments, whether it's, putting funds aside to purchase real estate, putting funds into your stock portfolio, putting funds to cryptocurrency. Once you are consistent in doing that, 90% of the work is done.
Okay.
The other 10% is the money working on top of itself, and you're fine. Yeah. But the biggest part, that 90%, is the consistency. And a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we know the value of consistency, like consistently showing up in front of your audience, consistently serving your clients. So we need to translate that consistency back into our wealth creation as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, you do a budget and you would never not buy yourself groceries for the month, or you would never not, make your car payment or whatever it is, right? Obviously there are times that that's going to happen, but most of the time that doesn't seem like an optional thing. And so it is, at least for me and a lot of people I know, this feels like an optional thing that you can, taper back or taper forward if you want to, but it really, like, that's not, you got
somewhat intangible. That's why. So when we go grocery shopping, we're walking out with bags of groceries. Right. I'm like, all right, this is where my money went. Yeah. When we talk about, the future, your retirement, these are all vague concepts, especially if we haven't taken the time to really think about what exactly am I going to do. It becomes very vague, and because of that, it's easy to put off, because I don't know, I don't even know what I want, so I'll get there. And a lot of entrepreneurs think, well, if I work hard in my business, I'll be okay, I'll have enough money. That's not true, because of our enemy, inflation. So we could be working hard, doing all the things, hustling, grinding, booked and busy, making that money, but the value of that money is deteriorating. So think of it this way, like, you're working hard, revenue is growing, but that money, because you haven't invested it the right way, it's losing value. So you're working hard for something that's losing value. So if you're putting
it all back into your business, or then that's when you're losing money. You're saying you got to take some of it out.
Well, let's put it with the numbers that don't lie.
Yeah. Okay.
Inflation is the theft of our wealth, because the prices of goods and services go up each year. With our business, our revenue may be increasing at a rate greater than inflation. But once you put that money into your bank account and you leave it, it stops growing.
Yeah.
So you may even say, I'm going to reinvest it in my business and keep going. You specifically would have to reinvest in activities that can beat inflation.
Okay.
A lot of entrepreneurs don't think that way. They're going to be like, let me reinvest with new training, new services, which may not translate to revenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So important distinction, which is why much cleaner, much simpler, much less headache, much less number crunching, much less, oh my God, I'm not a genius like Keisha at thinking about things this way. Easier to just invest. Buy real estate, cryptocurrency, bonds, stocks. It's better to just kind of channel the money there rather than, is my VA going to generate more revenue than inflation? That's a hard thing to track.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about this a little bit, but is this something that people can do comfortably on their own? Like, can they go the DIY route with investing, or do they need somebody either, pulling them along or walking alongside them to guide them in the right place? So somebody like you, or can they kind of do this and successfully on their own?
You can do it on your own, but the thing is, do you want to?
Yeah.
Right? I have learned it's best to have that accountability and the expertise that will take you along the journey faster.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we're busy running our businesses. Do we at the same time have enough extra capacity to go and learn the world of investing on our own? So it literally be, full day of work in your business. Then at night, you're studying financial markets and looking at your different investments.
And tripping and falling in the same ways that you are as you're learning your business.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, what do I do? Right. Alternatively, you could have someone like me, an expert in your back pocket, kind of nudging you, because the service I provide with my clients is I say, hey, I know you are thinking about this. I know this is happening right now in the economy. I can make the linkage for you and help you and highlight to you the risk or the opportunities.
Yeah.
So for example, I may say, well, there's all this talk about a recession. There's all this talk about, inflation and the war. What does that mean for your real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency? Mm-hmm. Well, this is going to be the impact. Here are some options you can consider. That's very helpful rather than you Googling, what is a recession? When is a recession? How do I know?
Yeah.
And slowly getting there. And in the meanwhile, losing money.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I really want to highlight just this strategy of what you do, because it's not just invest in these stocks, do this thing. It really is. I mean, you're looking at the full picture of everybody's money situation and if they're utilizing all of that to its fullest potential. So it's highly tailored.
It is super highly tailored, which is why my clients are all extremely satisfied, because they literally do not have anyone like me. Even your typical advisor, they're not going to be nudging you as much as I do and pointing out opportunities to you, because advisors, essentially, they help you to find products that are suitable. That's what they're required to do. You may have a few advisors that do give you very frequent contact, but you may not find a lot of them as experienced as I am, because I used to be at the top here managing the money that the advisors would bring in. Yeah. Now you have me, traditionally you would never have access to me ever unless you came to me with billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make myself more accessible, which is why I do this business, to work with entrepreneurs and business owners to get you to that millionaire, then ultimately even billionaire status, because I take you there. Right now, the more, trained and experienced managers like myself would not be working with you.
Yeah.
They just, just work with this advisor here or do a robo-advisor. Like, you do not have enough money to be worth my time.
Yeah.
So my business now is I want to work with people to get them to that level, that millionaire status.
Lucky us.
You've gone through that, so you're like, lucky me.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to how can people work with you if they are interested in finding out more?
So really simple because I do offer a very customized arrangement. So just send me an email, Keisha at profitjumpstarter.com, and we'll set up a consultation, discuss what exactly are you looking for. I'll go through the different packages that I have and see if we're a good fit, and then get going in terms of taking what's happening right now, doing an audit of what's currently being done with your finances and investments, then strategizing that, pivoting into the right types of stuff, like me teaching you what to do, and providing that accountability and coaching along the way to get you to millionaire and beyond.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And if people are interested in, just finding out more about the questions they should be asking or the things they should be looking at, you've got an amazing YouTube channel and a newsletter that you're sending out that has, insane amounts of information on a regular basis.
Yeah, I do a lot of, because that's what people need. They need the how-to. There is enough of this is what happened in the stock market today. There's not a lot of how do I interpret this? What does this mean for me? So I share that on a weekly basis. So persons could just go to my website, profitjumpstarter.com, join our newsletter to kind of, just tap into that content.
Yeah. And I don't know how you do it. I do know how you do it, but every single time that comes out, you have answered a question that I have been thinking about that week. Like, it's really, these are not things that you're writing months and months in advance, or maybe they are, but they're so relevant to what is happening. It's awesome.
Well, the process is like, today we see what I am tapped into the markets, because that is what I do. That's what I've been doing for years and decades. So always tapped into the markets, but my lens are always, what does this mean for people? Because everyone can go on CNBC and CNN, but very few people know how to translate that into an actionable strategy. Yeah,
you do it like magic. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that we should talk about, that we should be considering as we're kind of dipping our toe in the investment waters?
So I would say, our typical entrepreneurs, we have generated that income, we have the money. As we think about this current environment where we're hearing about, inflation, interest rate hikes, we're hearing about war, we're hearing about oil prices, gas prices. What we want to be considering right now is that we need to take advantage of the opportunities that still are possible in this present economy. Mm-hmm. That means we should not necessarily just be earning and growing our business, but we should be thinking longer term, like this is the time to do it. A lot of the billionaires, they are in active buying mode right now.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett, they're out there. We see it all the time in the news. Warren Buffett bought this company did a major acquisition, Microsoft making acquisitions. We too need to be doing that for our investment. So I'd urge anyone listening, watching, to make sure you are doing something. Now is not the time to be piling money into your savings account and just, hoping for the best. Now is the time to actually take advantage of this rare opportunity, like super rare opportunity, and be making really great acquisitions to build your portfolio, build all your different investments, so that your lifestyle in retirement, even though you may not be sure what it is, but it's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do that knowing that like tomorrow you're not going to see a huge return, but in a couple of years, you're going to be paid handsomely.
You're going to be so happy.
Yeah. I can't remember where it was. I must have been in online somewhere, but somebody was talking about when all of this started to happen, when inflation started to be such a prevalent conversation, they were having a conversation with their partner, and their partner was kind of in this mindset of like a scarcity mindset. And their response was, oh my gosh, the stock market is on sale right now.
That's Friday. Yeah.
So awesome. Okay, Keisha, thank you so much. This was just a great conversation, super incredible information.
Yeah, we love talking about money and growing money. So always happy to join in on conversations around that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So happy to be here.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate and review this podcast and share it with all of your friends. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some great things that can help you move from hustle to flow, because I believe in you and your business. Until next time.